away we go.
So Ken, you seem to weather the storm early in the first quarter, but then things just fell apart in the second. What do you think went wrong?
I think Carlton played a really good game of football themselves. We didn't handle the pressure they were able to put on us today, and we've been able to do that right through this year. So we sit here knowing that we got beaten by a side who was stronger and harder around the contest and worked really hard both ways, and that's why we ended up losing.
Are you surprised by the lull in this game, or do you think heading in with the 7 changes there might have been some issues?
Yeah, no, I knew those were going to be the first question. They're not an issue. They're not part of the problem at all that we had today. We didn't turn up to play at a level that we have for basically the whole season, and that's what I said before this game coming in. And people talked around those sort of things. You go, no, well, it's got nothing to do. It's around your turning up and playing the way you need to. But today we weren't able to do that. It's not changes, not personnel. It was just the way we played, and the way we played was not good enough today.
Did you feel as if your form in the last month, although you kept on winning, had been sort of maybe dipping a little bit? Or? Oh
no, I don't think so. The game's so hard to win at this level. I mean, people will maybe look to that now, but it's always easier after the event. It's not. Did people predict that before the event? I'm not so sure. But the reality was, at this level, you have to play every week, and you have to play as well as you can every week. And sometimes you win close, sometimes you win a bit better. But today we got beaten badly.
So certainly Carlton, that's their best performance of the season. What do you think went? Okay, they put the pressure on you, but what do you think went wrong for you today? What sort of struck you with the performance from your team that was so different to the last 13, I guess?
Oh, I think it was more around. For us, there was bits of everything. That's why we got beat badly. Probably it wasn't just one part of the team that, or the way we played that broke down. We lost stoppage, not by a lot. Some of the numbers are in our favour, but we weren't able to execute going inside our forward 50 well enough. They were. They scored very easily when they went down their end of the ground. And there's lots of things. As I said, we weren't quite as clean around the ball. We didn't fend quite as well as we have for a long period of time, and we certainly didn't use the ball as well as we have. So again, no surprises if you. Of all 3 phases of the game are a little bit off. You're against a team who, as you've said, they played really well today, but I think they played extremely well last week as well. So, they're pretty good side when they get their stuff together. They've had parts of the year that I'm sure Michael's had worked towards to get to this moment, and they're going pretty well.
How much did you think? You talked about you weren't clean, didn't defend as well, didn't use the ball as well. How much was that attributed to Carlton's pressure around the ball? Because it seemed like you didn't get much time. No,
I think we can typically handle that time. I think we handle that normally pretty well, but they kept putting in the next layer and the next layer, and we sometimes we get that first ball away or that second ball away, and we're able to get through there. But today, they were able to stop the first or the second ball exiting too cleanly, and that's what happens when you get under pressure. You turn the ball over.
Zach Butters seemed to be off most of the last.
Yeah, basically the whole last quarter.
Was that just a precaution? Or?
Yeah, well, I hope so. He's a little bit sore in the groin, but that's all. I don't. He was sore just before half time, and we'd lost Darcy with concussion, so we, Zach was out there for a bit longer in the third, but in the end it was just more around. He couldn't move at his best, and you can't play AFL football no matter how good you are. And Zach's very, very good. It's a very hard game to play if you've not got any movement.
How concerning is today, just given how good you've been?
Every loss is concerning, and we haven't had one for a while. That doesn't make it any less of importance. I mean, people will want to look at, you've won a lot in a row, you didn't need, you needed this loss. Or I don't buy into that stuff. I just don't, and we don't as a footy club. So, we'll be concerned with our behaviours and the way we played, and we'll work really hard to try and rectify them and get ourselves ready for next week.
It's got a challenging 3-week block coming out Collingwood, then the showdown, and then Geelong away. Important to get everyone back on track.
I won't dismiss your question because I agree that they on face value look like, but the AFL every game, I don't see any block any less challenging. I honestly don't, and that might frustrate with that answer, but that's the way I see the game, and the game is at this level, it's really hard every week, and that's why you win all the games that we've won in a row. It's quite unusual that we've put that big number together, but the reality was we're very, very happy that we've put that together because we know by the time we get to the end of the season that run will be critically important because we've still got plenty more to do in 6 games to go before we get to the finals.
You have a big chunk of changes this week. Do you have any sense at this stage of how many changes you might make next week?
Not really. I mean, it depends on availability a little bit. So the people we left out well, we were left out today. 3 or 4 of them are out from injury, so if they come up, you know, they're part of our team usually. That's Mackenzie, that's Dixon, that's Horn Francis. Junior will certainly be back, so that will be one that I can guarantee you that will come back, but then the rest of it will be wait and see what the week plays out like. Obviously, we'll lose Darcy based on concussion protocols.
I can see Ollie Lord's performance. He tacked the ball really well in the air, it seemed like, but just couldn't finish off his...
Yeah, he had an almost game, didn't he? And, you know, he's been really good for us all year, and that's, you know, that's the encouraging part about what we've been able to do. I think we've used 37 or 38 players through this season, so we've found some players and we've found some people in different positions, so they're always the positives for us, and Ollie's got a pretty bright future for us. Yeah, one of the positives for us coming out of that game.
How did you see Tom Jonas and Xavier Dersman?
Yeah, well, they both, you know, come back into the game. I wouldn't like to have been down Tom's end too much. It was coming down there a bit, but, you know, without looking back at the tape, I think both boys played okay without being outstanding, I would have thought. But, again, you know, the result would say we had more players who weren't at their level than they needed to be compared to what Carlton had. All right? Thanks.